Hi, my name's AJ. I'm from San Diego, and I'm studying finance here.
Hey everybody, my name's Joe. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I'm a junior economics major.
I'm Nathan. I'm from DC, electrical engineering and pre-law track.
It's just not the same now. You know, people are babied now in many aspects of their life. Not many people even take out the trash or are able to cook for themselves.
You come here, you're able to figure everything out for yourself, work, you know, however you want to, and create a life that you want for yourself. And like, at the end of the day, there's no part of that deals with like a larger group of people that are there to help you out or do things for you.
Let me just change the question. Can you go back to the black kids? How much money do you think we should invest on rehabilitating them? Can you understand how easy it would be to be them and just be like, yeah, nothing's coming to me, man. It's not gonna happen. So I'm never gonna be able to do that. That hill is so high for me to climb. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try. Do you get that? You guys answer this question? Bro.
I completely disagree with this statement. I can't speak for something that I wasn't a part of, but from what I've heard, from experiences that I've been told, I know that it was more common to do labor, manual labor, examples as such, like that. It's just not the same now. You know, people are babied now in many aspects of their life. Not many people even take out the trash or are able to cook for themselves. And it's not a bad thing at all. It's just a different time now. I feel like we're in a time where things are more accessible and easier to access. Well, you can't blame that. You can't blame anything.
Okay, all right, hang on. That's so interesting, because now you just shifted in the other direction to people really being these products of life around them, not making individual decisions or something, right?
Have you ever watched TikTok before? Things are definitely trying to grab people's attention and limit one's ability to think for themselves. And we can go into that. Okay,
that's fair. I hear that. Do either of you have a response to the question, not the statement at the bottom? Do you have a response? I like what you said, bro.
Yeah, and like, I would say honestly yes, right? So I'd have to disagree with you there. I think if you think about like the whole idea of the American dream, like you can think of that in any way you want to, whether or not it's alive or dead in today's age. But it's like the whole point of that is like you're able to come here, or if you're already here, you are here. But like you come here, you're able to figure everything out for yourself, work, you know, however you want to, and create a life that you want for yourself. And like at the end of the day, there's no part of that deals with like a larger group of people that are there to help you out or do things for you, right? I think that like a lot of that is just you're relying on yourself to create your own life.
Okay, bro, a quick thing?
Yeah, I'll take a slightly different stance. I think it really depends on where you look, right? Like, you go to DC, where, you know, everybody's supposedly the self-made man.
And
it's
women.
very much a culture of self-reliance, right?
Okay.
You know, you go to school, you make the right decisions, you work hard, you can get what you want.
Unless you're poor in DC. But go ahead.
You turn somewhere else, say a poor district of DC, or you go, I don't know, say California, New York. Yeah. Somewhere where it's not as emphasized, right? Or I guess government welfare programs are more prevalent. People might say, I can't be self-reliant, I'm dependent on the system around me. So it depends on who you ask, like all things.
Okay, all right, okay. So let me ask you this question then. Striving Janice from the Netherlands says, what role should the American government play in alleviating poverty?
I mean, it's interesting, because like personally, I think that the biggest crisis that our economy would face is the disparity between income groups, right? So like, if you go back like 60 or 70 years, there was a smaller portion of like ultra high net worth individuals than there are now, right? And there was a larger portion of like working and middle class people making an income relative to those ultra high net worth people that was like somewhat of like a less substantial difference than it is today. I'm saying a lot of words that like without giving numbers, so it sounds bad.
No. Let me just change the question. Can you go back to the black kids? How much money do you think we should invest on rehabilitating them? After they just carjacked and violently beat people, man. How much are you willing to pay? Because you're the government.
So, I mean, there's not really an answer I can give because I'm not really educated on the difference between like
No, just how much are you willing to give, man? Well, you got to start paying taxes. Number? Like, yeah, how much are you willing to give?
Personally?
Yeah.
Like, so if we're counting personal contributions and then going that across like all tax-paying people, I don't know, I would assume like, realistically it's a very small number because you have to factor in like everybody in America is paying taxes.
So how much do you think we as a society should give to help rehabilitate them?
I couldn't tell you with what.
Like, what's your gut feeling? See, this is an coming from someone from the Netherlands, where this conversation is really dynamic and ongoing. Bro, do you have a response?
Yeah, well, I guess I have a clarifying question. Like, what do you mean by give? Because
how many resources are we willing to expend to rehabilitate these folks?
Like, that also depends on where we're expending them, right? Like, you could expend them in the law enforcement system and say, we want better law enforcement to prevent something like this from happening again. Right, we want to catch it before it happens, so that people aren't in this situation where they would need to be rehabilitated. Right, that's one way. Another way could be like, we're going to improve our prison system, right? Like, do we want it to be a corrective restoration, or do we want to put them through like a rehabilitation program?
We could improve our education system. We could make it less likely that their parents, that we could make it more likely that when they were born, when they were created to two people living under one roof and not like individual people out trying to survive. We could do all sorts of things, but the question is, do we want to do that?
Right, sure. And you had mentioned at the beginning, it's hard because like I worked hard for my position and person B did not, and you're saying they reap the benefits of my hard work.
This is a question. Yeah, but maybe it's in the end it's good for you because maybe it's your car that's going to get carjacked, and you're like, damn, whatever, man. So what do we got to spend? Like, stop this carjacking nonsense. Right. Like, come on,
so
like, let's
I would
fix
say
it.
Yes, on the condition that it's put in the right places, right? So if it's in the public school system, which in my opinion could use a lot of improvement, right? I'm sure there are a lot of people here who would not disagree. Or it's, in a proper law enforcement system that prevents these things
Okay,
from
listen.
happening.
All right, hang on. Dude, I love what you're saying. Bro, I want to ask you a question. I will guarantee there will be some people watching who are my age and they're pretty conservative. And they really, they want to throw the book at these kids. They're just like, no, like, this is it. There's no rehabilitating. Like, stop, throw the book at them. Make an argument for why we shouldn't do that. Make like a so-called liberal argument for why we really should invest more money into young people like this.
I think there's no way that it's acceptable to put money forward to people that want to continue to go down a destructive path. There's no excuse for that. That's only further crushing the country. That's only further putting us in a bad direction. You can't help people that don't want to help themselves. You have to want to help themselves first, and I believe that if they wanted to get that help, you should be able to give them as much resources as you can, provide as much for them as you can, only if they want that help. But some of these people don't value growing as a person or networking and
some people
going to NASA.
Dude, including people in this classroom who don't value
100%.
it. By the way, AJ, you started in this kind of liberal way, like, yeah, we need to stop these, we need to fix society itself. We need to invest to fix society. And then you turned around and you did this really nice conservative segue. And we only can help people who want to help, because if people don't want to be helped, like, why waste money on them? Spend the money somewhere else, which is typically what many people with a more conservative perspective think, which is like, and when I say conservative, you understand, like, I'm talking in the generalities of how we talk about liberal and conservative. People are a mix of all sorts of different ideas, right? Yo, Amir from the stream asks, what are other factors that influence an individual's ability to overcome significant challenges that might not be from a sociological dimension? Dude, you can answer this. What are some of the things that aren't sociological that led you to overcome certain challenges? Like, why at the age of 14 did you decide, I'm going to go make a lot of money investing in the stock market?
I think that, like, one thing is just, like, we've said the word discipline a lot, and I think that that's like a great thing, like being disciplined and then being determined in your mindset and the way that you approach the problem in general, right? So it's like, first, I forget who said the quote, but it's like a problem written down is a problem half solved, right? So like you need to identify what's going on and what's wrong.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, you need to identify what's going on. Like, best piece of advice, take a serious look at yourself in the mirror and like analyze what your life is to this point and how it's going for you. And if you want to change something, it'll be so much easier to change that thing. And then from that point, it's literally just about being like, all right, I want to stay on this path. This is what I want to do. And being disciplined in your approach, training your mind to be that way.
And or maybe having the ability to train your mind. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
For some people, should police be bolstered in low-income neighborhoods? Bro? That's a yes or no question.
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Why isn't it?
All right, so like if you look purely on a fact basis, right, low-income neighborhoods are disproportionately more likely to commit crime, but they're also disproportionately more likely to contain a larger percentage of African American and Black American people, right? So then the argument then becomes like, okay, well, are you policing the area because there's more crime or because there's a larger portion of Black people there, right? And that contributes to like a whole wide variety of racial issues.
It's a whole different world, man. And so it's not a yes or no answer?
Not a yes or no answer.
Okay. Is it possible that each group's tendency to self-segregate contributes to the lack of learning or ability to grow past their current socioeconomic level? This goes for all races. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah?
100%. Yeah. I think part of the problem with disparity is, I don't want to say like culturally encouraged, right? But like people are told you're disadvantaged. And my mom would tell me, you know, if you think you can't, you're right. And if you think you can, you're also right. So, you know, when you're told you can't.
Well, but listen, man, but if people are told they're disadvantaged, and then they're told in such a way that it's actually to their advantage, because they're like, hey, you're disadvantaged, so you're going to have to work twice as hard. And in poor communities in the United States, by the way, I mean, this is what people hear again and again. It's like, you're going to have to work twice as hard to get as far as that other person. Like, you're just going to have to. So therefore, telling someone they're disadvantaged can be the thing that really moves them forward. You know what I mean? But they can also believe it. Some people are going to believe it and be like, I'm disadvantaged, so I can't do anything, so I'll just go carjack somebody. I'll never afford that car, so I'll just go steal somebody else's.
Definitely self-limiting beliefs, huge thing in life.
Yeah.
If you think that you can achieve something, there's a good chance that with the right work and effort,
but listen, man,
and energy put into it.
Okay, hang on. But can you guys understand why it is? Can you go back to the picture of the young people? Can you understand why it is? Can you understand how easy it would be to be them and just be like, yeah, nothing's coming to me, man. It's not going to happen. So I'm never going to be able to do that. That hill is so high for me to climb. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. Do you get that?
I really feel like I'm not different from these people. We just have different perspectives on it.
Yeah.
And they could do extremely, substantially better than me.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to. Everybody has moments in life where, you know, you feel like you don't want to wake up early. You don't want to do something like this. You don't want to do hard things. And I'm not a perfect person. I can't say that I'm great and on that disciplined path. You can't say that. But more times than them, I've been disciplined.